Hey Builders, Brick Ratty up here with what feels like it's been a long time since I've actually done a Citizen Brick review, mostly just being some different stuff that I bought at conventions, the San Diego Comic-Con minifigures as well. Citizen Brick Day just happened. Finally got my package after 2 weeks, so must have gotten a lot of orders from that. Me personally, it's not going to be a crazy haul since I picked up so many of the minifigures that were available already at the conventions. But the new figures that I did get in my order, I'm very excited for. So we'll be checking out the 2 new packs of minifigures, as well as some other random parts I didn't have yet. So let's go ahead and check it out, which includes the 2 different packs that they made for the Thing or the Object, Wayne's World, or Public Access Show. Very pumped for these. The designs, just based on pictures, have been amazing. Got some freebies too, so we got a Citizen Brick Day 11 sticker here based off of a PBR can that they've also printed. I also got a button that says CB on it, which also has a bit of a fun detail to it. Getting the lights off so you can get a better look at the effect. Trusty black light there. And it is a glow-in-the-dark button, so fun to see that. I love the little gimmicks. I love glow-in-the-dark. In addition to the minifigures, I also bought some random parts that I don't have in hand yet. So I got some of their double hands, some of their wavy arms. Just got the yellow ones here since I do have the flesh ones on one of my convention minifigures. I guess on the other side of the sticker, another bit of a detail on the back. We got cheers from citizenbrick.com. So that's where you buy these minifigures. I do believe this one's sold out. This one's probably still in stock. I'm going to do a bit of surgery on these packaging things though, because I love the designs of the cards and that they are very specialized on the front. Kind of like the movie posters, I'm assuming. For sure the Thing one is, so I'm assuming the Wayne's World one is as well. Back of the card, pretty standard. Talks about their products. Get them on citizenbrick.com. where you can find them on social media. These are pad printed just like Lego, unofficial Lego parts, so as close as you can get to these characters in actual Lego form. And like always, very excited to check these out. Let's go ahead and throw the parts on some minifigures and get those on the stand first. So quick, here are those new arms. I think I already mentioned it. I did end up getting the flash versions of these, or at least one half of them, with this weird figure I got at Brick Fair, I think. So picked up yellow, got the double hands in yellow as well. It'll be the same in flesh, so don't really need to compare those. These are going to work very well for gun type items where you can put multiple options in the hand. They are unfortunately going to be a little too close for some combinations of accessories, so just want to show those off. But any sort of thinner gun is going to fit perfectly. Unfortunately, I guess my first idea would be 2 lightsabers next to each other. That's not going to end up working out, where the hilts are going to bump together. You could do a lightsaber and a katana next to it. Again, just more of those thinner accessories. I'm sure you could figure out some fun combos for pieces that you would want to place next to each other, but kind of a fun little thing. Obviously, you can put the arm on the other side of the body if you wanted to. Since they end up having that same sort of Lego arm peg, so no need to worry about it being side specific. I would say the curved arm is a lot harder to put on since you don't really have like a flat place to like place your fingers to kind of force it in there. So something to keep in mind. It isn't a huge deal. Of course, it is kind of funny that you have to buy 2 separate packs of these to get a full set of either arm, since you can't buy the kind of more macaroni one or just the round one separately. You have to buy them together, which I don't know if I like that better or not. It's kind of fun to have the 2 unique items together as one package instead of 2 of the same, but it gets kind of goofy if you want 2 of one. You still have to buy all 4 arms. So I could see it being kind of both ways with that, but great looking pieces. The yellow matches perfectly because they use the same plastic as Lego. I think they melt it down and it does end up being the same plastic. I'm sure with the double hands too, you'll have a lot of fun with these and will be good for decorating your minifigures. And what I'm most excited for, let's get into the actual minifigures from this release. We'll start with Mike Myers, or Wayne from Wayne's World. He's got his white Excalibur Stratocaster there, which is really nice with the white and black printing. Silver on the strings always looks great to me. On the Citizen Brick guitars, I have a couple of different ones of theirs in my collection, and I'm always amazed by the quality of their guitars. I had a really bad experience with my Spider Punk guitar from Chaka, so these are great. You're not going to have issues if you're rotating it around the hand. You know, you might have some clutch problems with like certain positions, so you just kind of have to turn it around a bit, slide it around to get it secure in the hand, but I always love the shaping. It's nice when they do the dual molds here with the black on the sort of neck and then the white on the body. Looks great. I think the scaling looks awesome too. Fits with a lot of the other sort of instruments that Lego has put out scaling wise. Fun to get another one of these. Oh, the minifigure fell off quick. Get that back on. And he's going to be a pretty simple minifigure other than the legs, which are brand new print and will be shared with Garth, being a new jean with ripped knee sort of area looks. Shoes are going to be pretty generic. I think those are supposed to be Converses based on the like white circle on the side there. Continues down to the back even. Another great detailing is the sort of stitching on the pants that continues all the way around the hip, even on the sides where it is really subtle and probably could have been left off. On the back too, you get some belt loops too. So really loving these legs. I saw that at BrickCon or whatever Seattle convention, they had misprints of these. So bummed I didn't get a chance to pick those up, but I'm glad for the people that did. It's also nice to get these citizenbrick custom molded sleeves on this minifigure to give it a little bit more detailing instead of just the dual molded arms from the Mission Impossible figure or printed arms. I do love those parts. It's nice to get them already pre-glued on. You know, you can do it yourself and you can buy some of those sleeves separately, but it adds a little bit of the DIY to your custom minifigures. And it's not a new hair mold, but you do get one of their custom molded hair pieces that is glued to the back of the head. And looks nice. I think this was used for either the Danny McBride baseball enthusiast, wherever that one was, maybe a couple others, but great texturing on that. It's always nice how it fits perfectly with the baseball caps. So they did a good job designing it so you have nice utility and it's a seamless transition. It's always funny to take off the hat though, because then you have like the goofy hair look here. Face design wise, you know, I feel like the expression is pretty good. For Mike Myers, I don't feel like he has very distinct facial features, so it's not like there'd be any defining things to look for, but looks like a dude. His shirt just has a line showing he has a little bit of a stomach, nothing on the back of that, so just a plain black t-shirt. Hat, though, has a very nice print of the globe, which is, you know, his iconic feature. So that looks nice, especially white on black. Lego would do a very poor job printing that, so good to see Joe, like always, doing better than Lego somehow. You know, lots of simplicity here, but perfect detailing. I'll say that these two minifigures were part of the Citizen Pick, which was like the fan-voted sort of series where we submitted ideas, got voted on. So it was this, the bear, and also the Thing minifigures that we'll take a look at in a bit. All great options. This is awesome. Let's move to Garth, which I think is the more exciting minifigure out of the two-pack. You get two drumsticks custom molded by citizenbrick. Those look awesome. Fit perfectly in the hands, so no clutch issues there. I'll just get them out of the way, but you can post around a couple different ways. You have to build a drum kit, but I know in the show and also in the movie, I don't think he actually plays the drums, because I'd have to review that. But first thing I want to point out, legs are going to be the exact same print as Wayne, but on a different color plastic. These ones being a more acid wash or lighter jean color. So you get two different options of those. If you wanted to get these figures, part them out a bit and make more fig barfs, that's going to be great for you. On his torso, you get an Aerosmith shirt with a flannel over it. I do really like the way that they did the cross hatching to give the different levels of coloring. I haven't reviewed these parts yet, but I also have a flannel piece by Stud Sock Shop, and I do really like the more subtle dark blue, sort of dark gray look for the flannel versus the black, which this isn't an inaccurate design. You know, there are flannels that look like this, but the subtle shading and more consistent coloring for the overall fabric. My preferred look, definitely. The head, it's just kind of a generic glasses look. Again, you know, definitely looks like the character in the movie. The hair probably could be a little worked on, but this is the best official option. He has kind of the bangs that come down, and there is like a shorter hair blonde bang look, but it's pretty much from one collectible minifigure and the San Diego Comic-Con Supergirl, or the DC Fandom Supergirl minifigure, so it's a little bit rarer, a little bit more expensive, so if you're making a couple hundred, not really going to be a viable option for you. The glasses on here, though, I do think are the exact same design as their neutral glasses head look. Pupils on here are going to be a little bit smaller than this one, so it's not direct reuse of any kind, but maybe they have a separate plate just for the glasses.
Not sure how they would make something like this, if they would do the neutral face separately and then put the glasses on, but it's a possibility and would explain why the designs are so similar, or they would just reuse the basic glasses design that they already have. That would make sense too. I'll just pop off the hair. You know, none of their minifigures have alternative faces, so not going to be anything on the back of the head, but the flannel continues around, like on Wayne's legs. You get the belt buckles, you get more stitching designs, shoes wrap around. Nothing going to be on the inside of the legs on either of these, just because that's not Citizen Brick style. But I'm liking all the colors on here. Definitely put in a lot of effort. You know, I got the red, lighter blue, probably white printed around. And it might just be one extra bit of color for the blue, but could be a couple shades too, I guess, with the black outlines as well. Very impressive work on this minifigure. I really love everything about it. The legs on both of the characters here, great. And of course, the torso is probably one of the best from Citizen Brick this year, and maybe out of everything. I don't know, I'm excited to kind of figure out the top 10 minifigures for Citizen Brick this year, as well as all of the customs overall. I don't really feel like I have any solid numbers right now, but definitely something I'm going to be putting into consideration. I would definitely recommend picking up this 2-pack if you can. I know they're not available on the site right now, so keep an eye out for a reasonable price on the aftermarket, and let's jump into the thing. Just starting off with McCready. Great minifigure first off. We get another printed bottle of alcohol by Citizen Brick, this time being a whiskey for a Molotov cocktail. Ties into the end of the movie where him and the last guy are also drinking out of the bottle. Is it alcohol? Is it some other sort of substance that would kill them? Leaves it a little bit ambiguous, part of the important plot of the movie. Overall, print-wise, going to be pretty generic, but also spot on. He's got a nice jacket. It's really interesting to see the face and facial hair printed on a colored head like this instead of, you know, being just a straight flesh head of some sort, you know. So that'll be kind of cool. It'll be fun to see different misprints of that. I'm sure people would love those. The blues matching on the torso from the head is great as well. One thing I noticed, there's a little bit of the packaging that's scraped off. You can see the speck on the sort of side there, right next to it. So hat's a little bit on the big side. They're just kind of squeezing it in their packaging that is pretty standard. Of course, it isn't going to be super hard to get off, hopefully, but yeah. Something I noticed, so if you want your packaging to be perfect, that is something that could happen. Not a big deal, you know, it's just the cardboard. Looking at the legs, though, you get some nice boot printing that wraps around, even with some laces printed very close to the front of the feet. Something that Lego never ends up doing, so good for, again, Citizen Brick for doing a better job. Back of the hips, we got some sort of belt or something coming around. Continues on the side hip as well. So that's always nice to see. They're doing a lot of great leg printing lately, I feel like. Just get the accessory out of the way. You can see that it does have a little hole in the top of the bottle for any sort of accessory. So it could be a feather, the flame sort of colored piece like that too. Gives you some options. Get a holster for a gun. You don't get a gun in the set though, so I guess you'd have to find the right brick arms or other accessory to give him. Front of the legs, you get the belt buckle as well as the zipper. Both of those are going to be metallic, looking nice, as well as some other pouches. Really do like the silver. That's one of the best parts about pad printed stuff, is that it is actually going to be metallic. The color combos here are kind of crazy, where you have like the, I believe, olive legs with lighter tan of some sort printed for that leather holster belt looking thing. Then also the reddish brown with like, can't remember the specific shade of blue. It kind of feels periwinkle to me. Love it, love it, love, love it. Dark brown for the hat, reddish brown. So really throwing stuff together. I guess more dark brown for the hands. This is like the Three Musketeer hat, originally what it was used for. So that's kind of a cool looking piece. Very unique, you don't see that very often. I'm always interested to see what official parts they end up using and what characters they would use them for. Like I said, very cool head print, just with the sunglasses and beard. I love to see that, even just on flesh, since that would just be a nice generic person head. Kurt Russell likeness, hard to tell, you know, he's got sunglasses on, but fits the atmosphere of the movie, which is really what you're going to be looking out for. Not a lot else to say, you know, you get some nice back printing too with the sort of elastic band at the bottom of the jacket where it would be kind of cinching together for the top there. So every little bit of detail that you'd want from this character, But what I'm also very interested in going with him is the thing sort of head thing that they made. So let's check that out. This is definitely where I feel like the most creativity for the set came from. Just look at this. What a crazy combination of parts that they molded to make this. You have the weird spider legs that are each drilled or done something to get them inside of the head, whether it was like a heated pin or something. You can move them. I'd be careful with them though. They're going to be pretty fragile, but if you're taking photos, you can definitely position the legs in a couple different ways to make it seem like it's walking a little bit more. Sure, stop motion people will love that, to copy the scenes from the movies, which would also have been practical and probably stop motion at the time. The sort of eye looking thing is actually more interesting than I thought it would be. It has like a whole head peg instead of just being a stud. So that was honestly a little bit surprising to me, but eye printing on these looks great, even with the extra little bit of wrinkle lines at the base of the eyes. I honestly like the facial expression on the guy too, where very scared, obviously. I would love to get some of those without all the holes in them, because that's just a fun head to get too. I feel like the plastic on the eyes is a little bit off. Definitely seems a little bit darker than the normal light nougat from Lego. So that's a bit unfortunate. I would have loved to have seen them match a little bit better. I'm not sure what happened there. But the legs seem to match a little bit better. I can pull one of these out too, just to kind of give you a look at that. So nice and thin. I think it's going to be a little bit thinner than the accessory holes, or maybe spot on, so you can fit it in the bottom of the bottle and just have 6 different holes in the head. So you could attach a bunch of random accessories if you wanted to. So that's kind of a, again, weird innovation. Glad that they came up with something interesting for this character, if you want to call it that. Does probably raise the price up a little bit. I think it's totally worth it. Definitely would have taken a bunch of effort to go through and do this to all the different heads if they made a couple hundred of these sets. But what an interesting thing that they put together. I'm glad to have it in the collection as a movie collector. Another great selection from the Citizen pick. And that's all for Citizen Brick Day for me. Let's go into the final comparisons and the final verdict. For the comparison section, I have kind of a variety here of different figures that kind of relate. There are other sort of flannel minifigures with the generic person that came in the lowrider. You can see the different colors and styles that they did there. It's not exact one-to-one of their like flannel styling, so it's nice to see them try different techniques to emulate the same sort of clothing. I also have the Brick Rock Press Nirvana band tee flannel combo too, so those kind of fit together in that sort of theming. We got the other Kurt Russell minifigure by Citizen Brick being Snake Plissken there, so nice to see 2 of those characters together. And tying into like the alien invasion type of thing, we got Ripley, another sort of survivor of different infections and people getting taken over by different things. So we got, Joel from The Last of Us, of course Ash from The Evil Dead. Moving into like the SNL section, we have JT from Dick in a Box. They've done more Saturday Night Live minifigures. I don't have all of them. I do have the cowbell guy, but he's still in the box, so can't pull him out. But great to see them expand the line of not just like skit characters, but more of the movie as well. Always looking out for very fun pop culture characters. These definitely fit the bill with the printing, accessories, everything looks great on those. And I could say the same thing about The Thing. I think Carpenter obviously is one of those very interesting filmmakers with all the practical effects. Monster designs looking awesome and translated very well into plastic here in this very strange sort of setup with a minifigure head basically as the torso and this very cool custom eye piece here that I'm sure people are going to love using. And it would be compatible with a big head. You could plop it into the top there. Should have done that in the video, I forgot, but gonna definitely mess around with that on my Instagram for some photos if you want to see those. But love expanding the minifigure collection like always. Citizen Brick Day for me wasn't super exciting because I got all the misprints at the conventions, but the new minifigures, those 2 packs, amazing, glad to have them. Let me know though in the comments, were there any great pickups that you had, whether it was a misprint minifigure that was available at the conventions I went to, or just one of the more one-offs of like the Operation guys or anything like that. Again, just let me know in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys got and what you guys thought. If you want to see more custom Lego Citizen Brick reviews or custom Lego videos overall, check out all the videos in my channel. I have been Brick Radiop, and I will see you in the next video.